Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're
Welcome.
just getting people to show up. We're doing a Q&A today. Let me go in the Facebook group and pin this so people can find us.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. All right, guys. Today we are going to be live with Shiladitya Das, aka Das, in the Subto community, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about his latest private money lending deal, I believe. Right?
Right, that's correct. Yep.
Love it. Okay. So we've just got a couple eyeballs in here right now. So I'm going to vamp a little, talk a little bit about what we've got going on. Welcome, guys, to those of you in the free Facebook group. We're here with Shiladitya. We're hosting these live Q&As with our guests from the Get Creative podcast. We're working up our way up to doing them daily. Right now, we've got a couple a week just so you can hear about the real deals that are going on in the community because there's people achieving these things not we're taking action. We're not just in the Facebook group, we're out there doing the thing, and this is absolutely attainable for you too. So we want you to see that paradigm shift, that everyday folks just like you and I are doing this, and that's what you're here to do, and we want to give you the environment to get that done in. So let me see you in the chat. I see a couple people on YouTube saying hello. Anyone over on Facebook, if you guys leave a comment, it'll come up in our chat and we'll see it. If you have any questions for Sheila Ditya, for myself, or for Carly, we can fill you in as we go. We've got about 60 people here now. I'm liking those numbers. Okay. Hello, hello. I see folks in the chat. Yes, welcome. Feel free to network, guys, too. We are here to meet each other. The people that are showing up are the action takers. These are the people you want to be doing business with. So, as we get going and asking questions, we'll roll back on the networking in the chat. But right now, we want you to connect. We want you to connect with DOS. We want you to connect with Carly and everyone else here that's ready to make money together.
Yes.
Yes, yes, let's go. Okay, what else do we have going on? Obviously, Squad Up Summit is coming up. Let's go.
Yes.
So, we'll see you all in Orlando. If you do not have your ticket yet, you can roll over to the landing page. I will drop the link in the chat because they're going fast and we have all these amazing speakers lined up. Jamil, Cody Sanchez, Grant Cardone, Pace obviously will be there. We're so excited to get the action takers in the same room and have you guys have this incredible opportunity to network in real life under the palm trees in Orlando.
I want
Let's
to
see,
know in the chat who's going to be
squadupsummit.com.
there.
Yes, I
Are
see
you going to be
Myron
there too?
Briley here. Hello.
You going to be there,
I'm not
Doss?
going to be there, I don't think. Das, are
Oh.
you going?
I am not actually. I am going somewhere else. I have some pre-appointment kind of thing, so I'm not going. But I'll miss that. Yeah.
Shoot.
Yes. Well, it won't be the last one, I'm sure. So
No.
you guys can roll through and get your tickets. All righty. Okay, well, let's get into this. We've got about 75 viewers here, and we're ready to learn a little bit about what DOS is up to. DOS, what were you doing before you got into real estate investing and found Sub 2?
So I was completely not in the real estate field. Yeah. So I was in software engineer kind of role. I was doing it for last several years. So I my first real estate deal was 2022, just 2 years back. So I that time I started investing into real estate for long term rental and all. And after one or two deals, I see I have no more money because it was conventional way. I took the mortgage. I had no money left. I wanted to grow my portfolio, but nothing is possible. So that's how I started learning that, okay, how creatively we can do it, how creatively I can buy, and then learning all those things over the YouTube basis video and all those things. And That opened a lot for me.
Mhm.
I was listening for 6 months. I was listening different his interviews and all other podcasts and all those things, and then realized that that's the right thing. So I joined this community in last year, May 2023. So next year it will be 1 year, one whole year it will be in this community. So that's how it started. So yeah, and then once I joined, then after joining, everything was kind of overwhelming. So many things are there, so many items are there, so many different opportunities opened up. So I thought that what I should do. So started with wholesaling. I did one and found that okay, that's fine, but it may not be my area. So moved into the private money lending. That's how it started, private money lending, and I did couple of private money lending deals. I, in fact, did some long-term rental buy and hold kind of thing. In fact, I did some first Subto kind of purchase, one creative finance where I purchased from Myron. In fact, Myron is in the call, so he helped me in that particular area. And then I am doing some wrap deal also. So all within our community, I'm working with all these community members. I'm working with the community, other people. So all these deals. Yep.
Yes, that's very cool. And how I know you touched on this a little bit on the episode. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out yet, I did drop the link in the chat. But you talked a little bit about overcoming the mental block to this, building the trust and doing your due diligence to lend out money. What was that like once you realized that was your route?
Right. So if each and everywhere, I mean, wherever you participate, I mean, there are risks associated to any of these things. I mean, whatever you do. So
Mhm.
our purpose is that how we can minimize those risks. So do our own due diligence. So from wholesale, when I started into this kind of private money lending, that time I read different from our vault, so many kind of interviews, so many documents, all those things, and then I see that okay, how I can do that, and that's how the deal came from Jesus Rogers, one guy from our this community, and he presented me with a good, nice kind of presentation, PowerPoint presentation, with mentioning that what exactly the deal, what he is expecting, how much time frame, what's the ARV, what all comes there, all these things he explained so clearly, and he provided his underwriting also. That helped me to kind of understand that okay, what exactly he is presenting, and then you need to do your own due diligence. I did my own underwriting. I did lot of my own comp kind of thing, and then we went into that kind of agreement kind of thing. We went into our promissory notes between two of us, and then what exactly, how my loan is secured. That is very important. Whatever I am doing, I'm contributing. I do not want to get it lost, right? I want how easily, how much it is secured. So that piece is definitely your side of interest. You have to do it for that, and you have to go definitely extra mile for that. And that's what we did it. Sometimes it fails, but 95% of the cases it will not fail. I mean, there are risks everywhere, but your purpose is how you can minimize that thing. So that's what I did it, and then I continued that way for a few more deals.
I have a question, because excuse me, we're talking a lot about this in Gator. Will you talk about how you protected yourself? What due diligence did you do? What were the steps that you took to make sure that you were fully protected? Because this is something that is huge, and we love to talk about and really dive into the nitty-gritty of doing due diligence.
Right. So for me, underwriting is very important. Underwriting, I mean, if you are going into an one property, do proper research on that. Do either you, there are different. I mean, for me, I had access to some of the sites like Zillow. I had access to Redfin. I had access to PropStream and all those things. So I did my kind of research from those things. Find it out what exactly what exactly happening in that area. Uh, kind of half a mile radius in that area, what happened, how easily it's selling, what kind of people, if you are buying one in a specific city, the how the city is doing, how the that particular city is kind of growing in a growth pattern or not, or it is downgrading and all those things. So that is very important. So go and in over the internet you find so many different sites or websites that are available. You can get all these informations, you can capture all this information, so you do your own due diligence. And second critical thing is, don't do anything in a hurry. That's the main thing. I mean, a lot of time people ask that, okay, we need it in next 2 days, we have to close that thing in next 2 days. Those are very risky. I mean, those are kind of red flags for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I always nowadays I always say that at least I need 1 or 2 more weeks, then only I can think about. Otherwise, I mean, if I'm not spending enough time, if I'm not doing proper due diligence, that is not happening. And TC help is very very much important for these kind of things. I mean, I definitely suggest that without TC do not do all these things. I mean, definitely their help, how they're doing all those. And if I'm doing a second lien position, I am part of the second lien in any of these deal, I prefer what kind of collateral damage. I mean, what kind of they are providing the whoever I'm working with, what collateral damage they can support on that. Like for example, in this case, the person who actually was looking for private money, he said that he has other property. He showed me what our properties where he had equity of 40% or more equity, so that in case if this one fails, he will support me that one. So those are the very critical for me to find it out, okay, my money is covered or not, if I'm getting back or not. So those are very important.
Yes, and one thing he says, "I will always use a TC," and I can tell you I've done so many Subto deals, I've done so many lending deals. I will never, ever, ever not do a deal without a TC. It's always so smart to have a second, third, fourth piece of eyes, more experience on your deal. It's so
Exactly.
smart.
Exactly. I mean, that's TC is so important. I mean, a lot of time, or we think that okay, we probably don't need, but if you need to spend a little bit extra, that is fine still, because it is more secure, and that someone, as you mentioned, some extra pair of eyes and the expert who is reviewing all those things. That's what. I specifically, I am not in from that background. I am learning, but absolutely that doesn't mean that I mean, without TC I can proceed any here. Yep.
Okay, so I love the bit about the due diligence, but and how you got into these specific roles by leaning onto the community, getting help from them, and then taking the ownership of I still have the responsibility here of the due diligence and what I'm getting my money involved in and my name involved in. So that's so important. Um, all that's wonderful. I think we should talk a little bit about the deal. Um, tell us a little bit about how much you're making, how you got the pieces together, because I believe you landed on a couple different sections of this.
Correct. So it was my third deal in this particular community, right? First one, as I mentioned, wholesale. Then I did one private money lending, but this is the third one. So this was 6048 Belladonna Circle in El Paso, Texas. That was the address. So it was 3 by 2 house, 1250 square feet kind of size, as I remember. And the purchase price was 138K. And there was some kind of rehab required, but it was not a huge rehab required. So the guy was looking 100, not 38K, I think 108K, sorry. And then the person who was looking for private money lending, uh, so who was looking for private money lending, he was looking for 35K private money, and the return was 6 months maximum time frame and 20% return. So he was saying that 7K return in 6 months. Okay, so return on investment, that was. And ARV for the property was 190K, and that's what it started. but he was able to do that rehab so quickly and get into the market and close it in 90 days. So I got my money in 90 days. So I put my money 35K and 20% return on investment in 3 months. So in a year, you can think about it's 80% return on investment, your annual, if you think about it. So that's how this whole thing went, and so quick. And the good part was that he was Jesus, I mean, who was actually he was running this particular operation. So he was so good in communication. He was in each and every phase he was communicating. That is very critical for me. I do not want to be kind of involved. I don't, if I'm doing a private money lending, I definitely the silent kind of thing. I prefer that mode, but I prefer whoever taking continuously give update kind of thing, that okay, what is happening. So once I kind of were transferred this 35K, immediately shared that okay, what exactly happening in that week, what is happening after 2 weeks, what is happening, where he is. Once that is done, he continuously updating me that okay, this is completed, now it is coming into the market. So I got continuous update. I never asked for him, but he provided me those things. So that's definitely helpful.
That is.
That is very critical in this case, because once you give your money, and if you do not see that okay, what's happening, what if you don't see any communication, sometimes it give you kind of concern or confusion kind of thing, okay, what's happening. But this guy, he was so nice in terms of communication. It's very helpful for me too. So yeah, if you see this 35K private money, in 3 months I got that money back with that return.
That's amazing. And I want to just point out to next to due diligence, communication is key. If you want to borrow money from people like DOS, even if you're like everything's going well, everything is going maybe ahead of schedule, even if everything's great, and it's especially important with if everything is not going well, you're like, so you know, we're coming through some bumps. I've got it handled. I'm going to be over communicative with you because sometimes things do happen, but the difference is over communicating with your lenders if you want to be a successful borrower and come back and back and back again. I love that you pointed that out.
Yep, yep. So that's how it started. And then I continued this private money, and not with him but other guys, and then with someone else. I mean, I'm doing it 2 times or 3 times kind of private money lending with same guy. That way, I mean, I am now comfortable. I know how he or she is doing, and how they communicate, how they do their own kind of preparation. That helped me, and that helped me kind of create a group of people where I am comfortable to work more.
For sure.
I think that's wonderful too, in that we are always talking about building rapport, but it's important to remember that that's not when we're just out networking to build the initial connection. Rapport is built across the relationship, into all of these deals, across through close of escrow. Maintaining that communication means everything when you need money for your next deal from someone like DOS. Like, that's awesome. Perfect advice.
Yep.
DOS, are you a Gator also?
No, I'm not.
If you guys are interested in learning more about PML, there is the Gator community where Pace does teach and give contracts and do Q&As around this. So if you're watching and you're interested and you want to learn, that's also a thing.
Yep.
I'll put the link.
And so, DOS, is that what is next for you? Are you going to continue to focus on private money lending? Is that the strategy moving forward? It seems to be going well so far. What's next for DOS?
So I have not decided yet that will be my final or not. But yes, private money lending, I can tell you that 50% of my activities will be in the private money lending, but rest 50% I am still in long-term rental, buy and hold kind of, and and fix and flip kind of areas. I am still kind of learning and see how and where it will kind of give me better kind of comfort feeling, and then I will continue. So private money lending, as I mentioned, it is definitely 50%, but rest will still continue. So I have a couple of this buy and hold kind of opportunities going on, one fix and flip with this community. Another guy I'm working joint venturing, I'm doing this fix and flip. His name is Gage. He is also helping, he's managing the whole project, and he is running this thing with me. We are joint venturing and doing this fix and flip work. So private money lending, for sure I will continue, but whether it will be 50% or whether it will be 100%, not yet decided. For private money lending, I can tell you, I prefer smaller chunk of investment, not a whole set of big investment in one property or one particular deal. I prefer between 20K to 55 or 60K kind of investment into multiple properties. That way, it minimizes my risk. It diversify my whole thing. Instead of investing in 100 and 150K or 200K in one single property, I prefer multiple. So if I do it, I do this way, between 20K to 60K, that range of investment as a private money lender or private money partner. Uh, that's how my plan is. And maybe after a few months, we'll see where it will take me.
Nice.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, Das, well, I've got your email up here, but how else can folks contact you? Where would you like them to reach out, either with deals or fix and flips for you or private money lending?
So yes, that email that you shared, that llcpineforest@gmail.com, that is where you can find me every time. And also my phone number is 626-537-5926. That's the number I'm available. I mean, if you call me or text me, I can respond. I mean, if I'm not in a call or if I'm not in a meeting, I try to respond immediate kind of thing. So that's how you can find me. I mean, anyone can send me deals in that. These are the two ways they can communicate to me. I mean, absolutely, I prefer to respond back as soon as possible. Yeah. And Facebook, definitely, within Subto Community Facebook, always we have that Facebook Messenger, right, where we discuss, we try to reach out any case. Yeah.
Wonderful. It looks like we do have a couple questions in the chat. One, it looks like we already addressed at the top. We talked a little bit about vetting at the top of the live, guys. So if you want to go back, this is available on YouTube. Once it ends, you're able to watch from the top of the live. But we did talk about how to vet the deals, how to do your due diligence, and why that's so important. So if you guys want to check that out, it's at the top. And someone asked about, is there a way to make money creatively with loan originators and lenders? This is a Carly, I feel like.
So this is a little bit tough.
Different.
Loan originators and lenders are looked after by the SEC, and so you have to be a registered lender and to start doing business with loan originators. There's a lot of laws around that. So I don't know the answer completely, but I'm 99.5% positive. Unless you're registered, unless you have certificates, probably not with loan originators. What you can do, if you're a part of Gator, you can JV with people that do have money, that do have the licenses and act as a bird dog. It's part of the Gator program, and you guys get a part of the money that they make. Therefore, you're just a connector. You do not have to be anybody that's licensed and bonded and all the things. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. I don't see any more about it in the chat, but I did just want to address, since we are billing these as Q&As, I like to see and if we can hit any of the chat questions. And we're slowly starting to fill up the chat and have live questions. So that's an exciting development that we can address if we can. Alrighty, guys. Again, reach out to DOS with your private money lending opportunities, and reach out to everyone else here in the chat. You can also join the Facebook group if you're watching on YouTube, and go see everyone over there to build your network out as well. And thank you so much, DOS. Thanks for being here. Everyone, go check out his episode of Get Creative, and we'll see you next time
Thank you.
tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Thank
Thanks,
you. Thank you,
DOS. Bye,
everyone. Thank
Carly.
you,
Thank
everyone.
Bye.
you.
Bye, Julie.
Bye.
Bye, guys.